Well, I think, from our perspective, things we talked about going into this game was going to be when you make a mistake, Kansas is so good that they're going to make you pay. And we made some key mistakes, and obviously Kevin Young deserves a game ball. With his performance today, he was probably the difference in the game and knocking down a couple threes, 2 for 3 from 3. But I thought our guys competed. We made some mistakes offensively down the stretch here, a couple turnovers in a row, came up with empty possessions. But as I told our guys, we've got to look at this and get our edge back and find ways to play better. We lost to a great basketball team in a phenomenal environment. My hats are off. I've never been in this building. The Kansas fans were tremendous today.
Coach, when did you know Jared wasn't going to play?
Really this morning. We were gauging and didn't have a good feel about it. And, I'll be honest, he was trying as hard as he could to convince us. But, I think in this profession, at least from my standpoint, I want to keep my players' best interest in mind. And I want to keep the program's best interest in mind. And he's doing much better. The thing that we just want to see as we continue moving forward is as we get back and go to practice, the repercussions of going through a practice, how does he feel the next day, that sort of thing. But I'm never going to jeopardize one of my players' future.
How about his absence, how did that impact the game? Beyond the obvious points, rebounds, like rotation, defense.
Yeah, well, that's a great question there, because I think from the standpoint of what he means, Deshaun went 40 tonight, and he wouldn't have had to. Could have been a little bit fresher down the stretch. And probably the biggest thing, and I saw signs of this today, and this tells you the beauty of having Jared Sullinger in your program. Jared's a winner. I mean, he wins. And, thus far in his college career, he's lost 3 games, and I think, or 4 now with this one. But that's rubbed off on some of our guys. I saw some fire in our guys' eyes that I wanted to see on the road. And, we definitely look forward to his return.
It looked for most of the game. I don't know if it was a rotation problem or what. You were losing guys on the 3-point shots. And I just wondered what happened. You were late closing out.
Yeah.
What happened to cause that?
The way they had structured what they do, it was very similar as we told our guys to Duke. We were slow, especially in the first half, of getting the switch of the rotation to give the support, and we were holding a little bit too long. Therefore, we were slow on the trail, because they were trying to go to Robinson down the left block there, and the second half I didn't think we were playing as hard, because as we said coming into this game, it was a do both game. You had to do 2 things at one time, and you had to do them at a high level, and we just weren't there the way we needed to be.
Yeah, how close was Jared to being able to play, and if he was close, how much of a temptation is there to use him in a game like this?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how close he was, but when we came back in off the floor, I had a long talk with the trainer, like, hey, what do you say we just roll him out there? No, I'm kidding. As I told Coach Self before the game, as we shook hands, I said, Merry Christmas. Early. But I'll be honest. I was, in my mind, I didn't want to do it. And I think that, so many times, I'll give you the how people think. I got a text saying, from a journalist saying, how can you not play him in the biggest game of the year? And I don't think that way. This is one game. Nobody hurts more than Jared does. Pulling up and seeing the students out there. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that gets him rolling. And this type of environment is what excites him. But, this is one game of 40 or however many we're going to play. And I didn't feel comfortable with it, to be honest, for the long haul.
Ed, you said last week that there wasn't any risk of him injuring himself further. If this was an NCAA tournament game, would you have played?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But make sure you write that this was not an NCAA tournament, okay, just in case people don't understand that.
Ted, when you see how much the offense runs through Jared when he's in there just working it inside out and that kind of thing, just how much, I mean, it's obvious some level, but how much do things change when you don't have quite that threat down low, and what does it do to the rest of the jump shooters and the other guys on this team?
Well, I think this, it'd be very similar if they played without Robinson today. And I say that from the standpoint of, in a lot of ways, Jared is a security mechanism, because if things aren't going right, he always gets open. It may be at 2 feet from the bucket, it may be at 20 feet from the bucket. But when the ball's in his hands, you know good things are going to happen. And you take that away. I think that one of the greatest things we did today was rebound the basketball, because that was something we knew we had to do. And you've watched since we've had him, a lot of times guys can miss a block out or not rotate, and guess what? He gets it. And I think that's there's so many things that he brings to the table. And the other things, he brings a calm, and that's what I was talking about earlier. I saw our guys keep their composure, and how many times you've seen Jared kind of be a guy, huddle him up and say, hey, we're okay here. And the biggest thing is how he creates fouls for you. And they were able to not get in foul trouble, which is tremendous. I think that's probably the biggest thing he does to people, is he's so big that he causes those fouls.
Ed, did you decide to try to get William going closer to the basket with the way he was shooting the
Yeah.
flying? And what did you do to try to facilitate that?
I talked to him at halftime and just said, hey, you have to make shots. And I thought our shot selection, even start the game, we got some really, really good looks, and the ball wasn't going in. And as I told the guys, keep executing. And we just talked to Will had the one in the first half where he didn't go as strong, tried to get the foul, he didn't get it. To just play stronger, and I thought he did a good job with that.
Take one more. Dad, I'm sorry if I missed this before, but just defensively, they had 18 turnovers, but they also had some good looks at times. What did you think of overall the defense today?
It wasn't good enough, to be honest with you. I mean, that was probably the difference for us, was our defense wasn't at the level, and give them credit. I mean, they did a great job of moving the ball, of penetrating and finding open guys. And the fact they shoot 9 for 17 from 3, and the guys that were making them, I mean, they were there, but we were slow to rotate, and we had a couple where they hit us in the hands, and we don't come up with them, and that was probably the difference. We couldn't make the play to get the momentum back on our side, and that was because of Kansas.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
Thanks.